Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather not just to wake up, but to rise, to awaken our spirits and ignite the divine potential within us. Morning is not merely the start of a day, it is the invitation to transform your life. In the quiet moments of devotion, we find strength, clarity, and purpose. Let us embrace this sacred time and allow it to shape the path we walk. Ladies and gentlemen, when we speak of morning devotion, we are speaking of a sacred practice that reaches far beyond the mere ritual of rising from our beds and performing daily routines. It is an intentional act that harmonizes the entirety of our being, touching the mind, body, and the spirit in ways that ripple throughout the rest of the day. To begin with, the mind, that restless entity which so often carries the weight of yesterday's worries and tomorrow's uncertainties, finds its moment of stillness in morning devotion. The mind is like a vast ocean, with currents that shift unpredictably, sometimes turbulent, sometimes calm, but always in motion. When we devote the first hours of our day to reflection, prayer, or meditation, we allow those currents to settle, to find a rhythm that is gentle and deliberate, guiding thoughts instead of letting them drive us uncontrollably. In those moments, we practice presence. We allow ourselves to be fully aware of the morning light, of the cool air that brushes against the skin, of the simple yet profound beauty of existence that is too often overlooked in the chaos of daily life. The mind, when aligned through devotion, begins to think with clarity, to focus with precision, to embrace creativity that may have been dormant in the late hours of the night. It is in this alignment that decision-making becomes intentional rather than reactive, that wisdom becomes accessible in the face of challenges, and that our thoughts become instruments of empowerment rather than instruments of doubt. Moving from the mind to the body, we understand that our physical presence is intrinsically connected to our spiritual and mental states. The body, often neglected in the hustle and bustle of life, finds a voice in the moments of morning devotion. When we rise early to dedicate time to ourselves, we create a sacred space where the body is honored, where movement and stillness coexist in harmony. A simple practice of stretching, mindful breathing, or gentle motion allows the body to awaken fully, releasing tension that has accumulated overnight and energizing the muscles that will carry us through the demands of the day. The alignment of the body with devotion is not merely physical, it is symbolic. It represents our commitment to nurturing ourselves, to acknowledging that the vessel through which we experience life is sacred and worthy of care. As we breathe intentionally, as we move with mindfulness, we connect with the life force within us, the essence that animates every thought, every feeling, every action. The body, when synchronized with devotion, responds with vitality, resilience, and a readiness to engage with the world in ways that are purposeful and meaningful. Yet, the full power of morning devotion cannot be realized without the spirit, that most profound and mysterious aspect of our being. The spirit is the part of us that connects with the divine, with the infinite, with that which transcends the temporal concerns of daily life. Morning devotion offers a doorway to the spirit, a sacred portal through which we can align our innermost selves with the higher forces that guide and sustain us. In the quiet moments of prayer, contemplation, or meditation, we allow our spirit to rise, to expand, to fill with a sense of purpose and connection. This alignment of the spirit is what imbues the mind with clarity and the body with strength. When the spirit is nourished, we move through the world with a sense of grace, with a quiet confidence that comes not from ego, but from understanding our place within a greater tapestry of existence. We begin to see challenges not as obstacles to be feared, but as opportunities to exercise courage and faith. We begin to embrace moments of joy and sorrow with equal reverence, knowing that each experience contributes to our growth, to our alignment, to the unfolding of the life that is uniquely ours. Morning devotion, therefore, is a practice that transcends time and routine. It is not simply an act of habit, but a deliberate choice to center oneself before the distractions, demands, and pressures of the day take hold. The alignment of mind, body, and spirit in these early hours creates a foundation that supports every interaction, every decision, every endeavor that follows. It is a grounding force, a compass that points us toward our highest potential and reminds us that we are not mere participants in life, but co-creators of the experiences that shape us. The act of devotion transforms ordinary moments into sacred rituals, and in doing so, it elevates the entire day. Each breath becomes an affirmation, each movement a prayer, each thought an offering. This alignment is not instantaneous, nor is it always effortless, but it is attainable with consistency, intention, and a willingness to honor oneself in the quietude of the morning. Furthermore, morning devotion cultivates a profound sense of discipline and self-respect. When we commit to rising early, to dedicating even a short period to reflection or prayer, we are signaling to ourselves that our growth matters, that our peace matters, that our alignment matters. This discipline does not confine or restrict, rather it liberates. It creates a space where the mind is free from the noise of distraction, where the body is energized and capable, and where the spirit is nourished and inspired. In this space, we can set intentions with clarity, make choices with wisdom, and act with purpose. The alignment achieved through morning devotion is cumulative, building over days, weeks, and months, until it becomes a natural rhythm of life, a flow that guides us through challenges with resilience and through triumphs with gratitude. The psychological impact of morning devotion is equally profound. Research has shown that individuals who dedicate time to intentional reflection or meditation in the morning experience lower levels of stress, greater emotional stability, and heightened cognitive performance. This is not merely a coincidence, it is a result of alignment. When the mind is clear, the body is energized, and the spirit is attuned, the human system functions optimally. We are able to process information more effectively, respond to challenges with calmness rather than panic, and approach relationships with empathy and understanding. The alignment achieved in the early hours extends into every sphere of life, influencing our interactions, our productivity, and our overall sense of fulfillment. Equally important is the spiritual resonance that morning devotion creates. By dedicating time to practices that honor the soul, we cultivate a sensitivity to the subtle energies around us, an awareness of the divine presence in our lives, and a recognition of the interconnectedness of all things. The spirit, when nurtured, guides the mind with wisdom and the body with strength. It is the silent partner in every decision, the quiet observer that offers perspective and insight. Morning devotion allows us to tune into this voice, to listen deeply to the guidance that is always available, but often drowned out by the noise of daily life. In these moments, we gain access to intuition, creativity, and clarity that can transform not only our day, but our entire approach to life. The practice also fosters gratitude, a quality that magnifies the power of alignment. When we begin the day acknowledging the blessings, the lessons, and the opportunities before us, we invite positivity and abundance into our experience. Gratitude shifts the focus from lack to sufficiency, from fear to faith, from doubt to possibility. It aligns the mind with optimism, the body with energy, and the spirit with peace. Through morning devotion, we create a mental and emotional environment in which potential can flourish. Challenges can be met with grace, and life can be experienced fully and richly. Another essential aspect of morning devotion is its ability to cultivate intentionality. In a world that often demands reactive behavior, where we are swept along by schedules, responsibilities, and obligations, morning devotion is a conscious act of taking charge of one's own life. It allows us to define our priorities, to clarify our goals, and to approach the day with a sense of purpose. This intentionality is not limited to the external achievements we seek. It permeates our internal state, shaping our attitudes, our responses, and our interactions. By aligning mind, body, and spirit, we are better equipped to live intentionally, to act with integrity, and to navigate the complexities of life with discernment and wisdom. Moreover, morning devotion fosters resilience. Life is filled with challenges, uncertainties, and setbacks, and without a foundation of alignment, these experiences can easily overwhelm us. The discipline and spiritual grounding cultivated in morning devotion provide an anchor in turbulent times. When the mind is clear, the body is strong, and the spirit is attuned, we approach difficulties with composure, creativity, and courage. We learn to respond rather than react, to act with purpose rather than impulse, and to maintain our center even when external circumstances are chaotic. This resilience is not an innate trait but a cultivated skill, developed and strengthened through consistent practice of morning devotion. In addition, morning devotion nurtures self-awareness. By taking time at the start of the day to reflect, to meditate, or to pray, we gain insight into our thoughts, our emotions, and our patterns of behavior. This awareness allows us to identify what serves us and what hinders us, to recognize opportunities for growth, and to make choices that are aligned with our highest values. It fosters humility, compassion, and understanding not only for ourselves but for those around us. When the mind, body, and spirit are aligned, we move through the world with consciousness, with intention, and with a deeper appreciation of the sacredness of life. The alignment achieved through morning devotion also enhances creativity and inspiration. When the mind is calm, the body is energized, and the spirit is open, ideas flow more freely, solutions emerge more readily, and innovation becomes possible. Many great thinkers, artists, and leaders have recognized the power of the early hours, the quiet moments before the world demands attention, as a time when clarity, insight, and inspiration are most accessible. Morning devotion taps into this potential, creating an environment where the full spectrum of human creativity can be expressed, where imagination can flourish, and where the mind, body, and spirit collaborate seamlessly to bring ideas to life. Ladies and gentlemen, consistency in devotion is not merely a habit. It is the lifeblood of transformation, the quiet yet powerful force that shapes the character, the spirit, and the destiny of an individual. It is through regular, intentional engagement in the sacred practice of devotion that we cultivate qualities that are essential to living a fulfilled and resilient life. At first glance, devotion may appear as a simple act of ritual, a moment in time dedicated to reflection, prayer, or meditation. Yet within this simple act lies the extraordinary potential to transform the very core of our being. The human spirit is often fragile, easily shaken by the trials, disappointments, and uncertainties of life. Without a foundation of consistent devotion, the mind becomes restless, the heart anxious, and the soul weary. Yet, when devotion is practiced consistently, it becomes a stabilizing force, a guiding light that illuminates the path through darkness and uncertainty. Through this consistency, the individual learns to anchor themselves, to create a sense of reliability and trust within, and to approach life's challenges with steadfastness and courage. Resilience, the ability to withstand adversity and emerge stronger, is cultivated most powerfully through repetition and commitment. It is not formed in moments of sporadic effort or fleeting inspiration, but in the quiet daily acts of devotion that affirm the sacredness of one's inner life. Each morning, each day, each session of reflection or prayer contributes to a cumulative strength that fortifies the spirit against the storms of life. When devotion becomes consistent, it trains the mind to remain steady, the heart to remain compassionate, and the spirit to remain unwavering, even when circumstances are turbulent. Resilience is born from repetition. It is honed through the conscious act of showing up for oneself, of honoring the sacred rhythm of devotion, and of committing to the alignment of mind, body, and spirit, regardless of distractions or obstacles. In this way, the individual becomes like a tree with deep roots, able to bend without breaking, to sway gracefully with the winds of change, and to stand firm in the face of trials that might otherwise uproot the unprepared. Inner peace, the serene and profound state that allows one to experience life fully without being ensnared by fear, doubt, or agitation, is another gift of consistent devotion. In the fast pace of modern life, peace often feels fleeting, a luxury that is constantly threatened by responsibilities, challenges, and the incessant demands of the external world. Yet consistent devotion creates an internal sanctuary, a sacred space where the mind can rest, the heart can open, and the spirit can breathe. It is in these repeated practices that one discovers the calm beneath the chaos, the stillness beneath the noise, and the harmony beneath the tension. Inner peace is not the absence of difficulties, rather, it is the capacity to remain centered and balanced amidst them. When devotion is made a daily practice, the individual cultivates the ability to observe life with equanimity, to respond rather than react, and to maintain a sense of serenity even when external conditions are less than ideal. It becomes a muscle strengthened through consistent engagement, and over time, it transforms the way one experiences reality, replacing anxiety with confidence, agitation with acceptance, and confusion with clarity. The power of consistency lies also in its ability to create a rhythm, a sacred cadence that nurtures the soul and organizes the chaos of daily life. Human beings are creatures of habit, and when habits are aligned with intention and devotion, they produce extraordinary results. Daily devotion establishes a pattern of presence and reflection that permeates all areas of life, shaping actions, decisions, and relationships in subtle yet profound ways. This rhythm becomes a foundation upon which the mind, body, and spirit can operate in harmony. When one begins the day with devotion consistently, the mind is trained to focus, the heart to remain open, and the spirit to remain attuned to higher guidance. This alignment reverberates throughout the day, creating a sense of coherence, purpose, and stability that allows challenges to be met with composure and opportunities to be embraced with clarity. It is through consistent devotion that the individual learns to navigate life with a sense of order and intentionality, rather than being swept along by circumstance or impulsivity. Consistency also nurtures trust. Trust in oneself, in the process of life, and in the divine. When we commit to devotion day after day, we are sending a message to our inner being that we are reliable, that we are dedicated to growth, and that we are capable of maintaining focus on what matters most. This trust cultivates resilience by creating an inner foundation of certainty amidst uncertainty. Life will always present unexpected challenges, disappointments, and trials, yet those who have developed consistent, devotional practices possess an inner anchor that cannot be easily shaken. They have proven to themselves that they can commit to a higher purpose, that they can maintain discipline, and that they can nurture their inner world regardless of external circumstances. This trust strengthens the resolve, enhances the capacity for patience, and fosters a sense of security that is not dependent on external validation or temporary comforts. The cumulative effect of consistent devotion is remarkable, as it subtly reshapes character over time. Each act of devotion, each morning spent in reflection or prayer, contributes to the cultivation of virtues such as patience, humility, gratitude, compassion, and forgiveness. These virtues, once nurtured, become second nature, influencing thoughts, speech, and actions. The individual becomes more grounded, less reactive, and more attuned to the needs of others and the guidance of the Spirit. This transformation does not occur overnight. It is the result of repeated effort, intentional focus, and the unwavering commitment to align with higher principles. Through consistent devotion, the mind becomes disciplined, the body energized, and the spirit fortified, creating an integrated being capable of navigating life with grace, wisdom, and resilience. Furthermore, consistent devotion provides a framework for reflection and self-assessment, allowing the individual to monitor progress, identify areas for growth, and cultivate self-awareness. When practiced regularly, devotion becomes a mirror, reflecting back insights about one's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It allows one to observe patterns, to recognize both strengths and weaknesses, and to make conscious choices about how to engage with life. The reflective aspect of devotion contributes to resilience by fostering adaptability and insight, enabling the individual to respond thoughtfully to challenges rather than being overwhelmed by them. It also cultivates inner peace by creating a sense of clarity and understanding about one's own mind and heart, reducing confusion, frustration, and internal conflict. Consistency in devotion also has a profound impact on emotional regulation. Human emotions can be turbulent, often swayed by circumstances, interactions, and internal thoughts. When devotion is practiced regularly, it creates a stabilizing effect on emotional states. The mind learns to pause, to observe, and to respond with discernment rather than reacting impulsively. The heart becomes more open and compassionate, capable of experiencing both joy and sorrow without being destabilized. This emotional equilibrium is a cornerstone of resilience, as it allows the individual to face difficulties with composure, to maintain focus amidst distraction, and to navigate interpersonal challenges with grace. Inner peace is the natural byproduct of this regulated emotional state, as the mind and heart become aligned with the spirit, creating a harmonious internal environment that supports well-being and purposeful action. The ripple effect of consistent devotion extends beyond the individual to influence relationships, work, and community. When a person cultivates resilience and inner peace through daily devotion, they bring these qualities into every interaction. They become more patient with others, more understanding of differing perspectives, and more capable of offering support without being drained or reactive. Their presence becomes calming, their guidance grounded, and their influence constructive. Consistency in devotion, therefore, is not a private luxury, but a gift that radiates outward, shaping the environment and the lives of those around them in subtle but powerful ways. Another dimension of consistent devotion is its role in fostering hope and optimism. Life is unpredictable, and moments of despair are inevitable. Yet those who have cultivated a practice of daily devotion develop an internal reservoir of hope. They learn to trust the process of life, to recognize the lessons embedded in challenges, and to maintain faith in the unfolding of their journey. Each act of devotion, reinforces the belief that the day holds potential, that growth is possible, and that resilience is accessible. This hope sustains them through trials, fuels their motivation, and nurtures a positive outlook that is both realistic and empowering. Inner peace is strengthened by this hope, as the individual learns to navigate uncertainty with confidence, to embrace change with grace, and to approach each day with a sense of possibility. Consistency in devotion also enhances focus and clarity. In a world filled with distractions, scattered attention, and competing demands, the ability to concentrate on what truly matters is invaluable. Daily devotional practices train the mind to prioritize, to center attention, and to discern between fleeting distractions and meaningful pursuits. This clarity allows for more effective decision-making, greater productivity, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Resilience is enhanced because the individual is less likely to be derailed by minor setbacks, and inner peace is cultivated because the mind is not constantly pulled in conflicting directions. The alignment achieved through consistent devotion creates a synergy among mind, body, and spirit that amplifies the capacity to navigate life with intention, purpose, and poise. Finally, the transformative power of consistency in devotion lies in its ability to integrate all aspects of human experience into a coherent whole. Through repetition, dedication, and intentional focus, devotion becomes a lens through which the individual views the world, interprets experiences, and engages with life. It harmonizes the inner and outer, the spiritual and material, the ephemeral and eternal. Each day of consistent practice builds upon the last, weaving resilience and inner peace into the fabric of one's being. It is in this ongoing, steadfast commitment to the sacred practice of devotion that true transformation occurs, shaping not only the day but the trajectory of life, nurturing a mind that is focused, a body that is energized, and a spirit that is serene, strong, and attuned to the divine presence within and around us. Ladies and gentlemen, gratitude and reflection in the morning are far more than simple exercises or fleeting thoughts. They are powerful practices that shape the way we perceive, interact with, and experience life. When we begin our day with a sense of gratitude, we are setting the lens through which we view the hours ahead, coloring every moment with appreciation, hope, and openness. It is a deliberate act that signals to the mind, the body, and the spirit that the day is a gift, a canvas upon which we have the opportunity to create meaning, to nurture relationships, and to cultivate joy. Reflection, paired with gratitude, allows us to pause and consider the lessons of the past, the blessings that surround us, and the possibilities that lie ahead. Together, these practices create a fertile ground for positivity, resilience, and inner harmony, shaping the tone of the entire day before the external demands and challenges begin to press upon us. To practice gratitude in the morning is to acknowledge the simple yet profound gifts that life offers. The ability to breathe, to see, to move, to love, to experience the warmth of sunlight on the skin, the gentle sounds of nature, or the comforting presence of loved ones are all reasons for gratitude. It is not necessary to wait for extraordinary moments or monumental achievements to feel grateful. The practice is found in the awareness of the ordinary, the daily miracles that often go unnoticed. When we dedicate time each morning to reflect on these gifts, we are priming the mind to notice abundance rather than scarcity, opportunity rather than limitation, and possibility rather than fear. This shift in perception is transformative because it alters the very structure of thought and emotion, creating a mental environment that supports optimism, creativity, and proactive engagement with life. Gratitude in the morning acts as a stabilizer, anchoring the individual in the present moment and fostering a sense of contentment that does not depend on external circumstances but arises from within. Reflection amplifies the power of gratitude by inviting us to consider the deeper significance of our experiences. It is in reflection that we pause to examine our intentions, our choices, and our interactions, allowing insight to emerge naturally. Morning reflection provides an opportunity to assess where we are in relation to our goals, to identify patterns in behavior that may hinder growth, and to celebrate the progress we have made, no matter how small. This conscious examination fosters self-awareness, which in turn cultivates humility, patience, and understanding. When combined with gratitude, reflection enables us to see life through a lens of meaning, where challenges are understood as lessons, successes are recognized as milestones, and every moment is imbued with the potential for growth. It is this intentional act of looking inward that sets a tone of positivity as the mind becomes oriented toward learning, improvement, and appreciation rather than complaint, regret, or worry. The interplay of gratitude and reflection has profound effects on the mind. A mind that begins the day in acknowledgement of blessings and thoughtful consideration of experiences becomes more focused, resilient, and adaptable. Gratitude shifts neural pathways toward positivity, reinforcing patterns of thought that support hope, optimism, and mental clarity. Reflection deepens understanding, enabling the mind to discern between transient distractions and meaningful pursuits. Together, they cultivate a mental state that is prepared to engage with the world thoughtfully, to make decisions with clarity, and to approach interactions with patience and empathy. By beginning the day with these practices, we are not merely reacting to life as it unfolds. We are consciously shaping our mental and emotional environment, creating a foundation upon which a productive, joyful, and purposeful day can be built. The body, too, responds to the morning practice of gratitude and reflection. When the mind is aligned through acknowledgement of blessings and thoughtful consideration of life, the body experiences a corresponding sense of calm and vitality. Stress, tension, and anxiety, which often manifest physically through tightness, fatigue, or restlessness, are mitigated by the awareness cultivated through gratitude. The nervous system is soothed, the heart rate stabilizes, and the muscles relax in response to the calm and centered state of mind. Reflection adds another layer of awareness, encouraging the body to operate with intention, whether through mindful movement, deliberate breathing, or purposeful engagement with daily tasks. The body, mind, and spirit are interconnected, and morning gratitude and reflection foster an alignment that enhances overall well-being, creating a state of readiness and receptivity to the day ahead. Spiritually, the practice of gratitude and reflection in the morning connects the individual to a sense of higher purpose and the infinite potential of life. Gratitude acknowledges that we are part of a larger whole, that we are beneficiaries of forces, energies, and circumstances beyond our control, and that the gifts we receive are not solely earned but entrusted to us. Reflection allows the spirit to consider how one's actions, choices, and intentions align with values, morals, and aspirations, creating an inner compass that guides behavior and decision-making. This spiritual alignment fosters a sense of peace, humility, and interconnectedness, cultivating a perspective that life is abundant, purposeful, and filled with meaning. When we cultivate gratitude and reflection consistently, the spirit is nourished, the mind is clear, and the body is energized, forming a holistic readiness to face the day with strength, wisdom, and positivity. Positivity cultivated through morning gratitude and reflection is not superficial cheerfulness. It is a deep-seated, enduring orientation toward life that influences thoughts, emotions, and actions. It creates resilience by allowing the individual to approach challenges with a mindset of learning and possibility rather than fear and limitation. It fosters empathy and compassion, as awareness of one's own blessings and struggles enhances understanding of the experiences of others. Positivity nurtured in the morning shapes relationships, work, and creative endeavors, infusing interactions with patience, consideration, and constructive engagement. It is a force that radiates outward, affecting not only the individual but the environment and people they encounter throughout the day. By consistently practicing gratitude and reflection, we build a habit of positivity that becomes self-reinforcing, creating cycles of joy, insight, and constructive action. Morning gratitude and reflection also encourage mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in each moment. When we take the time to acknowledge what we are thankful for and to contemplate our intentions and experiences, we cultivate awareness of the present rather than dwelling on the past or anxiously anticipating the future. Mindfulness reduces stress, enhances clarity, and strengthens emotional regulation, contributing to inner peace and resilience. It also fosters a sense of wonder and appreciation for the everyday moments that are easily overlooked, from the gentle warmth of sunlight to the rhythmic sounds of life unfolding around us. The cultivation of mindfulness through morning gratitude and reflection is transformative because it changes the way we perceive and interact with reality, creating a stable foundation for positivity that extends beyond fleeting moods or circumstances. Consistency in morning gratitude and reflection reinforces these benefits over time. The cumulative effect of repeated practice shapes neural pathways, emotional patterns, and spiritual awareness, embedding positivity, resilience, and inner peace deeply into the fabric of one's being. The mind becomes habituated to noticing blessings, the body becomes conditioned to respond with calm and energy, and the spirit becomes attuned to higher purpose and interconnectedness. Each day of practice builds upon the last, creating a compounding effect that strengthens character, cultivates wisdom, and enhances the capacity to engage meaningfully with life. The consistent application of these practices ensures that positivity is not dependent on external events, but arises from an inner state of alignment, appreciation, and insight. Reflection and gratitude also foster perspective, enabling the individual to discern what is truly important and to let go of distractions or grievances that drain energy and obscure clarity. By contemplating the lessons of past experiences and appreciating the gifts of the present, one develops a broader understanding of life's ebb and flow, learning to navigate challenges with patience, flexibility, and grace. This perspective nurtures resilience by providing context, reducing the emotional intensity of setbacks, and reinforcing the recognition that difficulties are temporary and often contain valuable lessons. Inner peace is reinforced as the individual learns to maintain equanimity, recognizing that while circumstances may be beyond control, the response to them remains within one's power. The integration of gratitude and reflection also strengthens intention setting. By acknowledging what we are thankful for and considering the lessons and goals that guide our actions, we are able to set deliberate, focused intentions for the day. These intentions serve as guiding lights, helping the individual to prioritize actions, make conscious choices, and align behavior with values and aspirations. Positivity emerges naturally from this alignment as actions become purposeful, interactions become meaningful, and energy is directed toward constructive and fulfilling pursuits. The combination of gratitude, reflection, and intention cultivates a harmonious state in which mind, body, and spirit operate in concert, producing clarity, motivation, and a sense of empowerment that carries throughout the day. Morning gratitude and reflection also have a profound effect on creativity and problem solving. A mind grounded in appreciation and reflective awareness is free from the clutter of anxiety, regret, and distraction, allowing ideas and solutions to emerge with clarity and inspiration. The practice encourages openness, curiosity, and receptivity, enabling the individual to approach challenges with innovative thinking and flexible strategies. Resilience is enhanced because the mind is not rigidly attached to fear or failure, but is instead oriented toward possibility, experimentation, and growth. Inner peace arises as the individual recognizes that creativity is a natural expression of alignment and gratitude, and that solutions are often available when one approaches life with calm awareness and positive intention. Furthermore, gratitude and reflection in the morning nurture humility and compassion. By acknowledging the gifts received from life, from others, and from the divine, the individual develops a sense of interconnectedness and recognition that no one thrives in isolation. Reflection allows for the consideration of one's actions, the impact on others, and the alignment with higher values. This awareness fosters empathy, understanding, and generosity of spirit, qualities that contribute to positive relationships, effective leadership, and meaningful community engagement. The mind, body, and spirit, aligned through these practices, radiate a presence that is both grounded and uplifting, enhancing personal fulfillment and the well-being of those around them. Finally, the practice of morning gratitude and reflection creates a cycle of positivity that extends far beyond the initial moments of contemplation. When we begin the day by focusing on what we appreciate and by considering our intentions and experiences, we cultivate a mindset that seeks opportunities, recognizes blessings, and approaches life with optimism. Each positive thought and action reinforces the next, creating a momentum that influences the entire day. Resilience is strengthened because the individual is anchored in gratitude and insight, capable of navigating challenges with grace. Inner peace is deepened because the mind and heart are aligned, and the spirit is nourished.